Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
What does it mean to be a father now?
Man, it's the best feeling I ever had, man. I've done a lot of, I've had the opportunity to achieve a lot of things that I'm proud of, but that's definitely the proudest moment I've had. So I was just glad to have the team support, for letting me, do what I had to do. And I was grateful I was able to get there in the nick of time. So it was a great situation for me.
So obviously you got there in time for the actual birthday.
Barely. Like, I'm talking like running through the door and like she's pushing. Like, I'm talking like walk in, doctor's like, we couldn't hold on any longer. We're trying to make her wait. And I walked in there and then the baby was out and 20 minutes later. Like, it was crazy. So I mean, if I would have turned left and I was supposed to go right, I probably would have missed it. But just very blessed to be able to make that and, experience that moment.
Where were you when you got the word that it was happening?
It was in New York. I was in New York. She called me. It was probably like 10:30 New York time. She was like, I'm just letting you know some contractions happened, but just be on standby. And then at about 11:30, she was like, you need to come back. So I'm looking up, trying to find flights, and I'm calling every private jet company I know of, and they're like, oh, we trying to figure it out. But thankfully, I had somebody that was able to come through for me, found a plane for me, was able to get out of there within like an hour and a half. So just was on the plane, just texting my mom like, how many centimeters dilated is she? Like, she's like, my mom, like, where you at? How far you is? All that stuff. But it all worked out, so it was cool.
What's her name, if you don't mind me asking?
Her name is Brielle Little. Little. So yeah, man, beautiful little baby girl. So just super happy about it.
How's the sleep for you and your wife?
First 2 nights is rough. I mean, the first night in that hospital was no sleep. Back was stiff. And I was like, I'm better off just staying awake than sleeping in this little bed/chair thing. And the second night was just tough because, she was trying to eat throughout the night. So, but then, the last couple of nights, I kind of had to move some things around, what I mean? Especially last night, we had to, come up with a plan for me to, get my rest, especially on game nights, so I could perform. But so I got some good rest last night.
Have you heard of Dad Strength?
Yeah, I'm already a strong dude, so I'm eager to see kind of what that looks like for me. So we're going to see in the next, I don't know how long it take to come in, but if y'all see me throw somebody on the ground today, y'all know what happens. So.
Have any of your teammates given you advice for it?
Yeah, I've been talking to Damian Lee a lot about it. He's been a huge support for me throughout this process. Just, he has a couple kids and he just had a daughter a few months ago, I believe, and just giving me advice and, I think my biggest thing was asking guys kind of how to navigate playing and being a dad. Like, it's a different type of thing and, I'm young and I don't really, nobody gives you a guide on how to be a parent, but especially being a parent and trying to perform at a high level is a tough challenge. But, I've had a lot of support. The coaches have kids. I've been talking to Frank a lot about it, Coach Fizz. So, I just be getting a lot of advice, man. Just, people giving me a lot of their experiences and talking to my parents about it. So everybody been very helpful for me.
What has Frank said specifically for the advice?
Man, we were just talking before I came out here. He was just telling me YouTube is my friend. Leaving the hospital, I had to put the baby in the car seat, and I didn't know how to work no car seat. And ain't nobody was helping me. I'm on YouTube, and I'm stressing. We trying to get out of here. The baby crying. I haven't slept in 2 days. It was a lot going on, but ended up getting it figured out between YouTube and asking the nurse. So it all worked out.
This is just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. I mean, hopefully it gets a little easier, but man, once you learn it, now I know how to work the car seat, so that's one less issue that I got to worry about. So I'll just get better with time. Changing the diapers has definitely been an experience for me. I ain't never changed a diaper before, but I changed my first diaper yesterday, so that was a milestone. So yeah, just continue to learn and continue to get better.
Do you feel like the adrenaline is somewhat wearing off, or do you still feel it, from this whole experience?
Man, I'm just like, it's weird. Like, people tell you about how it feels to have a kid, and I used to always be like, whatever. But once she was born, it's just like, I definitely understand, about that, that unconditional love, and every time I'm not with her, like even right now, I'm just like I can't wait to get home. Like it just look at her and stuff like that. But it still feels a little bit unreal, like having just a little person and just thinking about like we were all those little people at one point and looking at like just how we are all able to communicate and just drive and just do like stuff that people do, and at one point we didn't know how to do anything and our parents, nurtured us and took care of us for us to be able to be in those positions. But so it's a real surreal moment. I have so much respect for women after watching that birth. I can't. My mind was blown. I can't. I don't even. I was just like, how is this gonna happen? I don't even know how this baby's gonna come out of there. But somehow it happened. But I had to look at my mom and give her a nice big hug. Like shouts out to you because I couldn't have went. I would have had to tap out. Like that's crazy. But yeah, it was a really cool moment for me and my family.
Does she come in above average length or anything? Like, do we see athlete already?
She has long feet and like long fingers. My lady has like relatively long wingspan. I have super long arms, so she looked like she has like an athletic body type already a little bit. But no, she wasn't like abnormally tall or anything. She was about an average size, but her fingers and her feet were pretty long. We're gonna see.
You said it's a charm life. I mean, you've gone from being one of the top prospects coming out of high school, go to North Carolina, which is basketball nirvana, as they say, and it's a one and done. And of course, you were in Portland, and now you're here on a team, basically considered a playoff championship contender.
Yeah, man, like it's.
And your birth.
Yeah, like it's like I was saying earlier, like I've been in games where I got to hit free throws with the game on the line, take big shots, and putting that baby in that car seat was the most nerve-wracking thing I had to do out of all of that. Like I was like shaking, like just because she's so little, and I'm like, I think the biggest thing is my hands are so big, and I just feel like I'm like, it just feels a little bit awkward for me, but just trying to be so fragile with her and so careful. But yeah, like I said, that's the highlight of my life so far, man. So I'm just grateful that I was able to make it, and I'm continue to do my thing, provide for her and continue to make her proud. So I'm just excited, for the journey of it.
How much are you looking forward to getting back on the floor because you've been playing your best ball in this recent stretch?
Super excited. That Toronto game was tough. I definitely felt like that was a game they could have specifically used me in, just specifically the Raptors, just kind of how their team is constructed. I think that was a game I could have been, very helpful in. But at the end of the day, there's something I had to take care of. I think which everybody understands. But I was working out. That next morning I didn't sleep, but I was back in the gym 7:30 a.m. and was getting my workouts in. So I'm gonna be ready to go tonight, and ready to get the win tonight.
Book was calling it the Stay Ready crew, as far as the guys that have been working for their opportunity. Just has gone into that mindset for you and what you feel you've been able to show over these last 2 games.
Yeah, Stan, I think for in the league, especially on a team like this, you got to be able to stay ready. At full strength. There's going to be guys who are good enough to be rotation players who may not be playing, but you can't take that as an insult. You have to just understand, kind of what the situation is, and make sure you stay in shape. Make sure you continue to work on your game because, as you can see, guys go down, guys twist an ankle here and there. Like you're gonna have to be ready to go on any given night. So, I just have the right mindset. I've been doing it my whole life, and I've been relatively experienced in the NBA with that type of stuff. So, just continue to do the same things that I've done before I got to the league. Going to the gym, getting my extra work in, making sure I'm on top of my nutrition, all that type of stuff, just so that way, if I'm out of the rotation and my name is called, I'll be ready to fit in seriously. And I think I've just been doing everything, rebounding, bringing energy, hitting shots, doing my thing defensively. So just continuing to do that type of stuff.
What's the transition been like to a new team and new teammates and new coach?
It was hard. I think especially what was hard was the timing of it. 2 days before training camp, I couldn't. It was an awkward time, as opposed to those summertime trades or even in-season trades. You're already in the swing of playing basketball, but that specifically, working with the team all summer, and then like 2 days before trying to move, and then like training camp on Monday, and I'm trying to look at houses, and we ain't got no off days. Like, it was just tough, you know what I'm saying? But as time went on and things kind of slowed down, and as we got into the regular season, I was able to kind of get more comfortable and find a spot, because I'm the type of person, like, if I'm like chaotic off the court, like, it's hard for me to like be poised on the court. You know, I didn't have a house. I was moving from Airbnb to Airbnb. Like, it's tough, you know what I'm saying? So as I got settled off the court, I feel like I was able to, you know, be my best self on the court, and I just kind of compiled on each other, and I just got more and more comfortable. So it's been cool.
2 things. When was the baby born?
She was born on Monday.
Okay, so Monday. And then for you, Katie's having year scoring champ rivals, those types of numbers. What have you learned from watching him?
Man, you know, Katie was my favorite player growing up. So being able to play with him has just been like an honor, you know, truly. And man, I feel like, you know, the stuff that he has taught me, I don't know if it's applicable in a sense, because I feel like some of the stuff that he does is only stuff that I feel like he can do. But, you know, just his approach, you know, like in warm-ups, everybody's, you know, shooting shots, but he's going like full speed through these one-dribble pull-ups. And there's like balls flying all over the place and guys all over the place, but he's still detailed on what he's doing before the game. And I think that's something that allows him to be consistent, you know, offensively, game in and game out. And I see the work he puts in before shoot-arounds. And it just, you know, reassures you that none of this stuff is by accident. You know, guys really put time into their craft, and it pays off.
Can you spell your daughter's name for us?
Brielle. Brielle.
And I was going based off her question. Katie only needs 17 points to move to top 10 all time in scoring tonight. So what does that mean just for you to be? And it feels like he's already reached so many milestones this season. So what does it mean to be a part of these?
It's amazing, man. You know, I had the opportunity to play with Carmelo. Well, I think is 10th right now. So is he about to pass Melo? Or?
Moses.
I think he's about to pass.
Moses.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've had the opportunity to play with Melo, and now the opportunity to play with KD. 2 guys who have been able to touch that threshold of top 10 all-time scoring. I don't know how many people have been able to do that. Right. You know, be around that kind of greatness. And, you know, Damian Lillard is probably on his way to that type of realm. So just being able to learn from these guys and share the court with these guys, that's not something I take for granted. And, you know, I give him his flowers because he deserves them. And, you know, he's a great player. He's been consistent. He's done his thing year in and year out, and, you know, despite how the media may try to portray him at times, like, I have the utmost respect for him. So I'm super happy for him, super proud of him, and I'm just excited to watch his greatness continue to unfold.
One last question with Brielle, back to that. You know, you said it was nerve-wracking compared to playing, but how has maybe being a dad now changed the game specifically for you? How do you look at it differently, if at all?
3 days in.
Yeah, it's kind of
It'll
like,
probably keep changing.
it brings a sense of peace a little bit. Like, not to say that like I don't care about what happens on the basketball court, but like I don't, in the sense of like, as long as I'm, you know, there for my daughter and doing what I can to make sure that she's fine, and everything else kind of like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Good game, bad game. Like, I'm gonna be able to go home to her and just look at her little face, and I ain't even gonna probably remember what happened. So like, I think it just brings a lot of peace to me, and also like a lot of motivation as well. Like, it makes me want to continue to go hard and, you know, to make her proud and, you know, give her the things that she wants out of life. So it's been great.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. No problem.
Congrats.